So these are my Hawk heliums that I'm modding. The one on the right here, I cut at 22 inches, and those steps here, the bolt holes, I just do not like how close they get to this slot. And in fact, this one is so close, and my drill bit was a little bit off when I drilled it. I mean, it doesn't, the function works, but I could just see that being a problem in the future. So I ended up seeing another video where a gentleman cut his to 22.5, and that puts the bolt hole perfectly in the center between the slots. So for an extra ½ inch, I like having more meat here. I'm a big guy, about 230, 240. So I'd much rather put my trust in the meat than, you know, risking this thing popping. So how I did these, a couple little tricks, was I'm getting ready to cut my 4th now. So remove So that's my 3rd stick's cut down already, and my 4th is still full length. When I measured this out, I originally cut all 3. I was able to stack in my chop saw, and then the 4th wouldn't fit, so I'm just going to use my 3rd. I put the other 2 together, everything's fine and matches up, so we're good to go. And I'll show you guys a little trick on how to get these aligned, what ended up working for me. So we'll pause this, and I'll get it set up in the chop saw. Okay guys, I got everything I got it ready for this cut, and what I did was, you could use any one of these holes here and put something in that's the size of the hole and line them up, and they're going to be identical, all of them. So you could use a bolt. I ended up using a transfer punch, and then I got a C-clamp to hold them together. I got my I got them mounted into the cutoff saw, and my wheel is just grazing the one that's already cut. It's just grazing, so I know that these are going to be matched up perfectly. So let me cut this, and then I'll show you another little trick for drilling. Alright, so I just finished making the cut. You can see I got that peg going through there. That helped me keep everything aligned. And you can see the end cut is perfectly matched. So if you don't have these things aligned, you're screwed, because they won't stack on top of each other perfectly. So it's very important to take the time to get these things aligned. Now after you make the cut, I got one of those crappy blades that just comes factory with the chop saw, but if you got like the good one for cutting aluminum, it won't be as bad. But I got all these sharp little edges that I got to knock down. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Okay, so just get yourself a file. It's the easiest thing. A flat file. If I had a square file, that would be ideal. But unfortunately, I got this triangular one. I'll make it work. Okay, so just most of it's on the inside here that gets a bad edge, and on the bottom. So just knock it down. I mean, this is crappy aluminum. It's very easy to file. These little edges come right off. And this way you ain't going to cut yourself messing around with these sticks in the future. So this literally take you a couple minutes, and I won't bore you with all that, so I'm going to pause it and we'll come back to how I start to drill these. Okay, I got the edge knocked down pretty nice on the stick, and this is the cutoff piece. So you got two holes, and these are for your suction cup and your peg. Find the drill bit that fits in there close enough, just drill it all the way through. This is going to be your template for drilling. And since you got a nice flat edge, you stack it on top of your cut edge, your fresh cut edge that you just filed, and I'm putting it in my vise. And I'm going to line the ends up perfect, and then what I'll do is line it up so it's level with my vise, and then I'll just tighten down on it. So now they are matched up. All right. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then I take that C-clamp and off to the edge here, I won't be making any drills, any holes. I'll tighten this down. That'll keep it from moving in my vise downward. And now I got 5 holes to drill. So the big holes are 1/4 inch, and the smaller, or whatever, the smaller holes, they're using a screw, so it's not as important. And I just use a nut driver to get that them holes drilled. So here's my 1/4 inch, and I already got the drill bit in for the smaller holes. So I'm going to put a little oil on all of them, and let's drill the 5 holes. All right, you get the picture. We'll come back once I got all these holes drilled. Okay, so I'm finished drilling my holes, and then what I like to do is take a little countersink bit, and you can just, it's so soft aluminum that you can just use your hand. And this will get any of the edges off of the holes that you might have. Just gets those little burrs off that you might cut your finger on. And then when you're finished this, what I like to do is check those suction cup and pegs, put them in, and then go put it on one of the ones that I already completed, just to make sure that everything's aligning. Because if it don't, there ain't no sense of working on it anymore, because you got a problem you either got to fix or you're going to have to scrap one of them. But hopefully, you know, the way that you put them together, you don't have that issue. So, and another